Hi, I'm Fred from Fibery. Whiteboards are remarkable. You draw, you erase, you repeat until your marker runs out. But with the increase of remote working and collaboration, digital whiteboarding really took off. So I guess we don't need this anymore. In fact, whiteboarding became so popular that now there's too many choices, creating a complex situation from such a simple tool. In this video, we'll compare whiteboarding tools for work, their ease of use, features, collaboration options, and integrations. Maybe it'll clarify things, maybe it won't. Let me know in the comments. Whiteboarding tools have been around for over a decade, and there are both well-established players as well as more recent additions. There are many differences in the philosophies of all these tools and which purpose they're best suited for. A lot of these differences boil down to one core thing, which is if it's an integrated whiteboarding tool or a standalone whiteboarding tool. Now, depending on what your whiteboarding goal is, these differences will be either strengths or weaknesses. Integrated tools include Fibery and ClickUp, which are work and process management tools. At Fibery, we decided that we didn't have enough features to work on, so why not add one more? And it seems like ClickUp had the same idea. Last year, Atlassian also added whiteboarding to Confluence with two-way Jira sync, allowing you to make live updates to your Jira issues in your Confluence whiteboards. So generally speaking, these types of tools are built for a different purpose, but have integrated whiteboarding into their platforms. Standalone tools like Miro or Mural have a different approach. There, the whiteboarding isn't just a part of the product, it's the whole product. And as a result, their whiteboarding experience is more feature-rich and easier to get started with. Now, there are a variety of aspects to consider here. If you're looking to quickly do some brainstorming, you can set your sights on FigJam, Excalidraw, or tldraw. FigJam is designed for small teams to quickly ideate and brainstorm, as it's part of a suite of tools built around the UX design tool Figma. Excalidraw and tldraw are two simple standalone tools suitable for quick sessions as well, with low barriers to entry. They don't carry a lot of features, but they cover the basics needed to run a session without a lot of prep. If you need more capabilities, Miro might be the choice for you. They're the Goliath of whiteboarding and have developed an extensive template library for you to quickly get started. You can set up almost any kind of session you can imagine without building it from scratch. This gives you immense power out of the box, but with great power comes great responsibility, and all that power can be overwhelming for new users. Mural is another example that has lots of templates to get started with, which enriches its ease of use. These types of tools are suitable for quick collab sessions with users who don't need permanence and longevity in the data they create in their whiteboards. On the other side of the spectrum, we have tools like Fibery and ClickUp. Here you get a layered approach. The whiteboarding features are less comprehensive than Miro or FigJam, but they make up for it in the power and reach they have beyond the board. There are, of course, differences between the two, which stem from their foundational philosophies beyond the whiteboarding feature. Fibery has a philosophy built around databases, ClickUp around tasks. Essentially, you can achieve a similar end result, but you have to think about your information differently in order to fully grasp how to use each one. But that's a topic for an entirely different video, so let's not get into that right now. For whiteboarding specifically, you could say that ClickUp's approach is a whiteboarding feature where you can pull your tasks and documents into your session. Fibery's approach is that the whiteboarding becomes an extension of your work management, where you can visualize what you're working on and ideate on top of it. They do the same thing, but differently. Fibery allows for more granularity and customization than ClickUp, but that comes with slightly more complexity and user difficulty. To summarize, in ClickUp, the whiteboard is your jumping off point. You sketch, you brainstorm, and then you turn your ideas into tasks. In Fibery, the whiteboard becomes a lens on your information. You visualize, you filter, you make connections and conclusions. With both, you get the bare necessities for a successful session and can instantly turn your fresh ideas into shareable, trackable tasks throughout your organization. This can be made possible for other tools with the right integrations, but we'll get to that a bit later. When it comes to enhancing collaboration, tools like Miro, FigJam, and Mural excel thanks to their rich features for connecting people. Miro supports video calling and recording. FigJam and Mural support audio calling. A lot of tools also have timers, voting, the ability to react or emote. FigJam even has high fives. These tools are definitely more playful and interactive in their feature set, whereas the integrated tools have less of these thrills. Instead, they have a deeper reach, great for connecting ideas across your organization. Most whiteboarding tools have integrations that will cover most of your needs, except your emotional needs. But that still requires you to get the tools and connect them all without having a mental breakdown. With Fibery and ClickUp, everything is already connected, so mental breakdowns are optional. So while integrations bring lots of extra functionality and connectedness to the standalone tools, it can also mean that you have to spend time installing integrations, widgets, or connections to get things to work. Now this is a good segue to another issue of getting things to work, the question of migrating from one whiteboarding tool to another. Maybe your boss was dazzled by a new tool, or you want to replace your standalone tool with an integrated one. Not to brag, but it wouldn't be the first time that someone left their old whiteboards behind in favor of Fibery. The issue with switching tools is this lack of standardization. With all these different tools, there is no standardized format that allows you to export your whiteboard and import it into another tool while maintaining all functionality, at least for now. Whiteboarding tools have developed on different timelines and with different scopes, so that leaves this issue in compatibility. Luckily, there are some workarounds that sort of solve the issue. Option 1 is to export your whiteboard as an image or screenshot it, then you can place it in your new tool, but as a static image. Option 2 works for tools that support live embedding. Fibery and ClickUp, as well as other tools with the right integrations, will allow you to embed objects almost anywhere. So you open your new whiteboard and embed your old whiteboard, allowing you to make live changes all in one place. Now with all this information I just threw at you, you might be thinking, well, this is entirely unhelpful and I still don't know what tool to use. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It really depends on what you're looking for. But I'm going to try to break it down for you. If you're looking for a quick collaboration session without too many features and that's easy to use, you can try something like Excalidraw, tldraw, or FigJam. If you want a lot of capabilities right out of the box and don't want to spend time building custom boards for your specific use case, then Miro or Mural will likely meet your needs. If you don't need all the bells and whistles on your whiteboard, but you want your session outcomes to have strong relations to your organizational knowledge, then Fibery or ClickUp do this exceptionally well. But be prepared for a steep learning curve if you want to make use of their full power, and for the realization that you want to replace all your tools with just one. Now, there are of course other tools than the ones I've named by name, but they tend to fall into these categories. I hope this summary has helped you make a choice, and if not, tell me what was wrong. See you next time.